What's up, beautiful people? I'd like to talk about some things that maybe some people aren't ready to hear, but I have some hypothesis mixed with some science fiction. Now, first, I'd like to start out by talking about things and explaining things that the world may not think is true, may not really be ready to believe in, but in fact, probably, maybe, hypothetically speaking, could, would, or does exist. Now, I like to start out by Star Trek because I'm going to entitle this Science Fiction and What Is and What Is Not. Now, when Star Trek came out in the 70s, all of that technology, say, the little beam me up Scotty, little .com, or not .com things, little microphone, little comm things that you could push and wear on your chest and push a button and stuff like that, or the flip out phone, or the push button and you could talk to someone in outer space. Well, do you realize we have that technology? You have that technology. We've had that technology here on Earth for over 10 years in the general public. And if you don't believe that you're talking to people in outer space, well, you're wrong. You are. Because a cell phone is a phone that technically beams a signal to outer space, a satellite, and then beams it back down to somewhere else on Earth. So, there you are. Star Trek technology that works. And you don't really pay attention to all the stuff that, they drop in Hollywood and these Freemasons and Illuminati evil motherfuckers. All the stuff that they rub in your face, and they really love doing it because they love putting stuff. It's like putting a plate of food in front of you and you think there's nothing on the plate because you can't see through, how can I put it, your hamburger universe, your holographic universe. So they have on the plate a dimensional holograph over the plate of food that's basically making you see that there's nothing there, but in actuality that plate is full of food. You just can't see past that holograph. If you've never seen or read Hamburger Universe, this is the concept of what it talks about. It talks about that we are basically living in a matrix. We're basically living in a world that is spoon-fed to us based on a lie, and we believe these lies. And when we believe these lies, and these lies that thrive on our subconscious, because our subconscious is very powerful and our third eye is very powerful. We use 4% of our brain. What happens when we start using 10%, 20%, 50%? We start seeing and understanding things that we can't even comprehend. So the concept that I'm trying to help you understand is that you use 4% of your brain. What if there are evil men that use actually 7% of their brain, maybe 8% of their brain? That is double to the percentage of what we are using, and they have devised weapons to keep us using 4% of our brain. What I mean is how they devise weapons is I mean weapons like toothpaste, weapons like pouring poisonous fluoride into our water, ultra calcifying our food and our toothpaste. Do you know what this does to you? When you put too much calcium or take in too much calcium inside your body, what does it do to your third eye? It actually shuts down your third eye. Your third eye is your ability to see into dimensions, communicate telepathically. Your third eye, your pineal gland, absorbs more blood than any other organ on your body, and it is in the center of your brain. It is like a brain with inside a brain, your pineal gland. It is your third eye. So why have all of these evil organizations and corporations spent so much money on food, on so many other things that poison the third eye? That is your pineal gland. So what I'm trying to help you understand is we live in a world where they technically, by understanding this, want us to only use 4% of our mind. So when you understand this concept, you understand that if these people are poisoning us and forcing us, literally in TV, every day we brush our teeth with fluoride, the water, I mean, everything that we do is targeted at shutting down your third eye. Why? Because they don't want us to use maybe 7, 10, 15% of our third eye, of our God-given right. So what happens if these people know this and they're using maybe 7% of their brain to keep us 4% enslaved by them? This is the concept that the hamburger universe is about. This is the concept that the holographic real matrix is about. Unplugging yourself from the lies. Understanding that they show you the truth. They feed you the truth in TV. There's a real Stargate, people. I know because of things that I did in Paris, in a base that is in the Bastille, that is in the keep of the Bastille. If you know anyone that is in the high level of the French Foreign Legion or French intelligence, they will say this is true. Play this video for them and listen and watch their face when I say this. They probably won't believe it, or they know who I am. Now the French turned the underground of the Bastille Keep, the fort, into a bomb shelter for the Nazis when the Nazis came in, and then it just evolved into an underground base, a secret underground base today where they house Stargate technology. They're not going to talk about this, and what they're going to say is, oh, he's been watching too much TV. He's been seeing this and this and this. Why is it so convenient to totally dismiss what is protected on the highest level of the government with a TV show? Even Stargate did a show where they're making fun of their show. Where they actually did a show on Stargate that is a show about Stargate. It's called Wormhole Supreme. So even on the show Stargate, they're making fun of Stargate. They're actually saying, okay, this is real, but it's too far over people's heads. So people can say, oh, he's just crazy, and dismiss it because, oh, I saw that TV show, but there's no way it could be real. This is what they do. Because they don't lie to your subconscious because they actually cannot. So what they do is they put it on TV, put the truth to you in ways that you will accept it, but not really consciously believe it's true. But they're feeding your subconscious into being manipulated and saying what they are doing, and what they're doing not in secret, in public, right in front of your face, and shoving it down your throat. So then if anyone wants to talk about it, or if anyone wants to say I was part of this, or they did this to me, oh, you watch too much X-Files. Oh, you watch too much Stargate. Oh, you watch too much Star Trek. Oh, you've seen Star Wars. Which Star Wars, there's a real Star Wars. The Reagan administration started it. Nice name, huh? So the reason why I'm making this video is to expose a concept to you. Now I'd like to talk about Walt Disney. Walt Disney was a Nazi enthusiast. I strongly urge you to go online and look up a video on YouTube called Disney Porn or Disney Subliminal Messages, or type in Disney Nazis, Walt Disney Nazi enthusiasts. Watch these videos, and if you think all of these videos are full of shit, you're crazy. They go after the kids because they knew that if you take the kids before they get like 17, this is why tobacco companies go after kids, you got them hooked the rest of their adult life. Their mind is mentally yours. So Walt Disney goes after the kids. Now in this little short film, Disney Porn, they show how Disney is so male chauvinistic and how they're always painting the man as the hero and the woman as a submissive. Sit in your place. This is your place. You can't do this and this and this. It's a Freemason boys club. Very racist, very Nazi, and Walt Disney had a chance to work with the Nazis after they came over to the United States under Operation Paperclip. This is why in Florida, which is not about 23-hour drive away, 22-hour drive away from Texas, because all the Nazis came to Texas, and now Florida State is a Nazi state. I mean, that's why Jeb Bush fixed the votes so Bush, his cousin, could steal the election. Does anybody remember that they did this? It took 3 days to count the votes when Florida fixed the votes for Nazi Bush. Prescott Bush, Nazi. Caught giving millions to the Nazis from the Illuminati Freemason Bank of New York. But the skull and bones were never tried. Nothing happened for these war crimes. Walker Bush. Does anybody know about Mendocino, California and Walker Bush? I mean, Walker Bush single-handedly took all that land from the hippies in Mendocino. In Mendocino, California, you have the courthouse with Walker Bush and his buddies, all of their black and white pictures, and diagonally, pyramid, right across the street in a pyramid, you have the Freemason Daughters of Job's Lodge. I know because I lived in Mendocino. And then on Walker Bush Street, you have the prison, the jail where they took all the hippies and killed them and they came up missing. And then right across the street from the jail, the prison, you have a cemetery. Walker Bush Street in Mendocino, California. This is what the Nazis came to the United States and did right in front of your face. Go on YouTube and look up the geographics of Mendocino, California. In Mendocino, there are tons of CIA agents living in the mountains today. That's where they retire and grow weed, toxic weed for America. I know. I worked for them before I left this country 9 years ago to go to Romania. I know all about their shit. I love exposing their shit. Now back to Walt Disney and the Nazis. I'd like to bring your attention to a movie called Avatar. Do you know what an avatar actually is? Please, read, look it up. It is a being with another being's consciousness. Basically, when you break it down, it can be broken down to a demonic possession. Nazi witches. But everybody, oh, Avatar. Okay. Not to mention, Avatar was just a rewritten Pocahontas script with some special effects. If you don't believe me, look on the internet, look on YouTube, type in Avatar Pocahontas, type in Avatar Pocahontas script rewritten. That's all it is. An old story rewritten. But the funny thing about Avatar is that it's this. They actually tell you that they cloned an alien to infiltrate the aliens, and they were injecting another soldier's consciousness into the aliens to go spy on them. People, it is 2013. The Nazis perfected cloning. Hitler cloned himself. It has been proven that the blood that they found was, they thought it was a double of Hitler, because Hitler had lots of doubles. He was very paranoid. These Nazi evil scientists were so bent on perfecting the cradle of life. That's immortality, the fountain of youth. Well, if they perfected cloning, I can honestly probably bet that they were trying to perfect how to inject their consciousness into another being. They are witches. They're warlocks. This is essentially what demonic possession is. A demon coming into someone and actually taking them over. They have plenty of references and things about this with artists like Lady Gaga, like Madonna. If you don't believe they're witches, I'm going to shut you down right now about Madonna. Lady Gaga, Monsters Ball, all that evil shit, that's a given. But all you Madonna worshippers, here's a sentence that you can tell your friends. Nothing is like a prayer. Only witches do their thing in the midnight hour. I don't want to feel that wicked power. Those are incantations in music that you've sang 1,000 times but never realized what you're actually saying. This is what they do with their artists in music. Let me repeat it again. In Madonna's song, she says, it's like a prayer. Ain't nothing like a prayer. It's either a prayer or it is not. What is the opposite of a prayer? An incantation. But then she has thousands of black people singing, it's like a prayer. I'll take you there. Take you where? Then in the midnight hour. Who does what in the midnight hour? Actually, most witches get together on Hallows Eve in the midnight hour and cast their spells at 12 when the moon is the highest and the fullest. Madonna, wicked. Okay? So back to Avatar and their so-called possession of a clone. Now, I'd like to point out, what if the Nazis did perfect this technology to prolong their life so they wouldn't ever have to technically die? What would happen if, they were using gang stalking? Look this up. If you don't know what gang stalking is, there's a lot of information out on the internet where they target an individual and run experimentations on them, kill their family members, replace them, do all kinds of things. Now, what if their technology has advanced to simply this? They go in, kill a member of your family, fucking kill your whole family, clone them, and have their, high-tech clones with their microchips so they can, stay in contact with each other. I mean, it's 2013, people. No telling what kind of technology they have with cloning, because they perfected it with Hitler before he got caught. So they've had the American technology and the American underground science bases to do things that you cannot possibly even begin to comprehend what these witches, these evil Freemason boys club Nazis have done to us humans under the full disclosure and secrecy of the American government and the world government, because they went all over the world. They could snatch anybody, take a kid, do this, do this. They're basically the fucking mafia that handles exportation, transportation of humans. They consider us their cattle, their slaves. They won't believe they can do anything to us and not get caught. So with these rules and their laws, how far do you think their science has progressed under the secrecy and Black Ops disclosure? Now, back to what I was saying. Targeted individuals, gang stalkers, whoever, if they don't like you, if you're black, if you're Indian, if you're sovereign, go in and kill one person in your family. Like say it's a head kingpin of a mafia or an environmental organization or a artist like me, and they want to go in and study the family, study the organization, slowly take it down. When they get their information on this person and this person, enough information so they can kill this person or knock them off and replace them. Well, don't take that long to do this anymore with Facebook, with the government watching everything you put on your internet, with everybody banking through the internet. They can even keep track of everything you buy through your credit card transfers. So it doesn't take this much to get all the information that they need on somebody to kill them and replace them. So then when you get into Avatar, what if these Nazis perfected injecting their conscious into a clone? Say a clone of the person that they want to replace or kill. And what if they injected, their speed learning technologies, because it has been talked about that they have these machines that they can teach you things in minutes, hours, everything you need to know about somebody, maybe a year, 2 years, 4 years of their lives. They hook you up to this machine and boom, you know it. So then they have these clones. Say your family members, say your friends, say somebody in your organization, because they've been doing this with the mafia, the CIA. They've been doing this in movies a long time. Killing heads of mafia to infiltrate them, to say that they're going to study them, and then boom, they're replaced. I mean, in the movie G.I. Joe, this is what Zartan, this was his ex-forte, they replaced the president in that movie. So, I mean, it isn't too far-fetched when you actually start to understand the Matrix and what the possibilities are and their science and their evil wickedness and how far they have gone. So what if the Nazis specifically developed this technology so they can live in their clones, any clone, so their consciousness doesn't go away, so they can continue to study science, or they can continue to hide amongst you and me while they continue to study us and wait until they get enough information so they can kill us and then, do it again. Until there are no more of us to talk about them, and there is just the ignorant cattle using 3% of their brain, not even 4%. Because we've shown them that they cannot even control us. They can't control me using 4% of my brain's capacity. So think about this. Think about an Avatar, what they're actually saying in the movie. And then when they have the dragon, the so-called soldier in the alien's body rising from the ashes to come and protect everybody on the back of the dragon. people, that's demonic symbolism. And actually what you have is you have an injected consciousness that's a possession of a clone on the back of a dragon. Do you know about dragon societies? Do you know about the red dragon and the white dragon society? Do you know the Rothschilds, that's the head of the mafia, are Nazis, Jesuits, which the Pope is a Jesuit that has been caught raping kids and, you know, going to jail for it. I really, all the kids and women that the Queen and all of them have killed, they think they're going to jail? For one kid, it should be a death sentence. They done away with millions. I'm not afraid to say it. So then when you get into Avatar, I mean, their demonic imagery, it's over your head. But it's rubbing it in your face and brainwashing your kids. So on these facts alone, how far have they gone? How far does it go? What if I got a clone sitting right in my home, you know, that's the consciousness of Adolf Hitler, per se? Who knows? Their conscience is never gone from this earth. They figured out a way to be immortals. And just based on the movie Avatar, based on what I know about government technology and what they're not telling us and what they're not telling you, the possibilities are endless. Don't be a fool. I am Zakaos, bringing it to you, saying the things that they don't want to say, because now these Freemasons are hiding. Where are they going to hide? Huh? What's the best place to hide? In places where you wouldn't even dream of looking. Where are you going to find a Nazi conscience hiding in a clone? How are you going to detect this? How are you going to find this? Think about this, people, because this is what they're doing. And they're going to do this to hide, because now we're coming for them. They're going to hide, we congregate, backtrack, and then try to creep up into society and take it over again like they did last time. But this time, we know their technology, because they were stupid to put it so close right in our own homes. I'd like to leave you with this. Why does Bill Gates own over 5,000 shares of Monsanto's? Let me tell you something. Bill Gates, I'm recording on his system right now, Microsoft. It's wicked. I ain't afraid to say it. Nanotechnology, that's the future. Having microchips in your hand, where you wave it over something and they can tell your food. You can buy your food. They even have technology where I have this article posted on my page X Formers on Facebook, where you put a microchip sticker on your hand and you can control a drone. I can guarantee you Microsoft is heavily looking into this technology. But where does Monsanto's come in? Have you heard of nano food? Have you heard of nanotechnology being put into food? Have you heard of parasitic nanotechnology food? Do you know what it is? Why so much secrecy in Monsanto's? Why do you get so sick when you eat their shit? Well, let me give you a hypothetical scenario that I thought about. We live in the age of wirelessness technology. We live in the age where the government wants to track you everywhere. Everything you do. Right now in my home, you know, I got the new Dell. with the wireless laptop, or excuse me, wireless keyboard, wireless, this, wireless that, touch screen, latest Microsoft technology. But I can't turn off the camera. I have it covered. I turn the camera off every time I log onto my computer because it's always on. What is that? Big Brother having a camera right inside your home. And the microphones are always on. They can hear everything in my computer, and I know this. I go inside the computer and technically shut down the microphones because I have to go to Control Panel and Task Manager to actually do this. So this is Bill Gates, the new Windows technology. What I told you alone is already proving that Windows got their hand up your ass. So back to Monsanto's and him owning 5,000 shares. Monsanto's nanotechnology. We live in an age where the technology is so advanced they will not admit to it. What if they develop seeds that grow nanoparasites? Well, it's not that hard to understand the whole concept of it. And when you understand what a parasite is and how they're grown and how it doesn't take a genius to experiment on a parasite, figure it out, put a parasitic like egg or whatever in a seed, crossbreed that seed with corn or whatever grows, and then when it goes into you, it grows. And then it starts emitting, a signal that is picked up by wireless technology. In a sense, basically you're eating a bug. Now, I know the CIA has technology very close to this. They're bugged food. I mean, they can put a bug in your food that'll make you omit a signal that only they can pick up. So it ain't too far-fetched to say Monsanto scientists with Bill Gates have perfected something far beyond this. This would explain why Monsanto's food makes you so sick. Because what if those parasites respond to microwaves and alpha waves and then emit these signals back and forth through your computer, through your cell phone, through all these things, and then when you sleep, they actually start emitting subconscious, subliminal things to your brain? Or what if, let's take it a step further. What if this nanotechnology is actually spy technology and the parasites record everything you think or do or whatever? And then when you sleep, they re-emit these things and these frequencies out through, say, telephone poles, back through your cell phone. It's not that hard to fathom, people. Do you know there have been tests that were done on astronauts when they wanted to see how far you could mentally communicate? Well, it's been proven with the astronauts that actually really did go to the moon that they could pick up mental messages from Earth. Now, there are other scientists that have formed hypothesis that the brain has the capacity to shoot signals, that means thoughts, to Mars. You know how fast the thought travels? Faster than light. How fast do you think? Do you think faster than you can shut that light off? Yes, you do. So the amount of knowledge, the amount of information that is capable of being gathered with this demonic technology, you can't even fathom it. So let me open your mind to the Matrix and the possibilities of what they've been doing to us, their so-called slaves. We're no longer slaves. The truth is coming out, and there's a big shift that's coming March 25th. A shift that is supposed to be the end of them and the birth of us and the unification of our godly, heavenly mind. This is what's happening, because you can see through bullshit like you drink a cup of water and you can see that it's dirty. But unfortunately, this is take two. Wanted to add a little bit more to this video. I'd like to point out some things about the Bushes. Key names: Walker Bush. Does anybody know about the Walkers? I mean, they have businesses in Romania, Paris, the Walker Bushes. Now, the reason why I would like you to know about the Walker Bushes, because they're Nazis. Now, I'd like to really fully explain to you about the avatar concept, okay? That's why I added a little bit more to this video after I signed out, because I'm just gonna, edit these recordings together. Now, when you get into the movie Avatar, let me really explain to you the ending and what it is. So you have the soldier that has possessed an alien clone body. Okay? So then at the end of the movie, he saves the alien world by being on the back of the red dragon. So let me break it down to you like how I want to say it. You have a demonically possessed alien. Okay? Because I say demonically possessed because the soldier, he's a fucking killer, trained to kill. A blood ritual, blood rite, this is what they do. So anybody that does this can easily be possessed, because Lucifer wants killers. Okay? So technically, this is what you have in Avatar at the end of the movie, when he gets on that little red dragon beast looking thing, okay? Now the red dragon is the Queen of England. Look at their coat of arms. Is the Rothschilds. That's why it means red shield in German. Was born in the house of the Green Shield. Nazi Jesuits. Okay? There's a nice little article that you should look up on the internet called The Jesuits' Blood Oath. It tells you about the Pope and the Roman Catholic Nazi agenda. This is all Red Dragon, which they're Asian societies in China. Does anyone know about the old man and that family? Well, if you don't, probably most of you don't. That's all Red Dragon society. The people that control the mafia, the people that control the international trade of women and children. Now, I'm going to talk about Bruce Lee, because I'm probably going to post a Bruce Lee picture on this. Does anybody know the history, the real history of Bruce Lee? Well, if you saw IP Man, where it actually gives you the history of Bruce's Chinese masters, his master, actually, they tell you at IP Man, his master became chased and had to leave his home because he busted up the Chinese slave trade. And they still do this today. Triads. I mean, exportation of Asian people in general from the Philippines to China is the most disgusting, untalked about business in the world. Not to mention the Eastern Europe, the Ukraine. The Claw runs that. The man that ran that was Nikagaru. I had personal experience with him because that's who took my girlfriend when I lived in Romania. He owns, or did own, Fashion TV and the whole Club Space music franchise based out of Ibiza. Nikagaru's nickname in Ibiza was the King of Spain because they bankrupted Spain, and Nikagaru turned the economy of Spain into exportation and importation of women tenfold. So he got the King of Spain, but that was all through the Claw, the Triads. Now Nikagaru's nickname is the Claw, and that's also the nickname for the hand, the red hand, the red dragon. So then when you get into Bruce Lee and IP Man and what his masters actually exposed and what they were into, exposing the Chinese cartel and exportation of human beings, you know who the Red Dragon, what they are. They are slave traders. Just this. That's it. Now, the Rothschilds are the head of this branch in Europe. Eastern Europe, Romania, Ukraine, England, Germany, the Red Shield. But they take their orders from the red hand, the Claw. So I'm breaking down some really underground shit, and for you, government people and other people that, really know what's up, that I know what's up. So then when you get into what they've actually been doing through humanity, and even the new Bruce Lee IP movies expose it from a long time ago. And now you know why Bruce Lee had to come to China, because who he was trained by. The only reason these men were alive because they could fight. They stood up for justice. Bruce Lee was the real Superman. The real modern day Superman. That's who he was. And then the Triads, the Chinese, got pissed off because he was training Americans. You know why they got really pissed off? Because the Red Hand couldn't have their slaves being trained, the passed down trade of the IP man that exposed them a long time ago, and they couldn't stop him because he could fight. He didn't fear them. So back to Avatar and the Nazi technology and walkers. The name Walker and Walk-In. I want you to really get a full picture of the ending of that movie in Avatar, okay? Just suppose it's the Nazis boasting that they have Avatar technology. That is the ability to take someone's conscience, their essence, their memories, everything, and inject them into another being. The only thing that I can equate this with is possession. Being possessed by a demon or something else. So the Nazis, the warlocks, the witches, the Red Hand have perfected the technology where they can take their evil essence and inject it into something else, giving them the ability to be immortal, so to speak. So in the ending of Avatar, the Pocahontas script that was rewritten, what was Pocahontas about? Some Europeans coming over to the Indians' land and taking their woman, basically. That's it. Pocahontas, in a nutshell. The Europeans coming over, breeding with the Indians' women, and then taking them. And then, I don't know, teaching them about what society is, what their European ways are, how the red hand, red dragon, Nazis culture operates. The Indians were living at peace with the land. Avatar is Pocahontas rewritten for a new culture. So then after that you have the Avatar, the possessed alien, riding on the back of the red dragon, controlling him, coming down to save the world. This is really wicked. I mean, you have basically them spoon-feeding you the whole Christ element. But except their Christ is a possessed alien on the back of a red dragon. Avatar. So, let me tell you about walk-ins, okay? Walkers. Now, I strongly urge you to listen to videos about Project Montauk. Project Montauk is supposedly, they say in a lot of videos and things written about it on the internet, the government's way of traveling through time. Now also in Project Montauk, they talk about it is technology based on the Philadelphia Project, which was real. You know, a ship that just comes up missing, it's lost in time again. Nazi experimentation in the United States. So then, in these films, they talk about the technology that is able to teach you things in a matter of minutes. I mean, years worth of information in a matter of minutes. Imagine that. So I've never seen these machines. I've never been hooked up to one. But we live in 2013. And I know what power is. Power isn't control, people. Power isn't money. Power is knowledge. That's it. Information. This is why organizations like the CIA, MI5, secret government agents all over the world, they operate specifically on stealing secrets, espionage. These secrets aren't money. These secrets are scientific breakthroughs, knowledge about who's going to do what, who's going to do this, when they're going to do this. It is knowledge. So in Project Montauk, they say they perfected a machine to where they can feed you gigabytes, terabytes of knowledge that they've turned into digital information, and they're capable of injecting it into your consciousness so you can understand it. Avatar concept. So then, when you really start to understand and grasp what I'm saying and understand it, so if they can make a machine that can put this in your head, what about a machine that can take it out? So, a machine that could take it out of your head, take your consciousness, take your memories, catalog it, turn it into digital information, so it can be transferred again, is so diabolical. It is so horrific. Just the mere thought of it, just the possibilities of what these fucking Nazis can do with it. Everybody knows these Nazis were faggots, pedophiles. So, J. Edgar Hoover loved dressing up as women. What if these Nazis love actually, killing women, which they do, and injecting their conscience into women to know how it feels to be a woman. Because they're sick. They love doing this. So technically, I think this probably would be their end plan, their last plan to escape. Because they can inject their consciousness into a woman clone, into a male clone, into a kid clone. Anything that is set up to house their, what you call their knowledge, their soul, their evil ass entity. So in the movie Avatar, which, Disney, Nazi corporation, company, they boast about this technology. They put a new twist on Pocahontas. Project Montauk, they talk about these speed learning machines. Again, they boast about this information technology where they can put things actually into your mind, things that you didn't know. So I've actually read things about these hybrid clones. When you get into the Nazis' experimentation of kidnapping the human race and running experiments on them under disclosure of UFOs, X-Files exposed that to the American public, but they were so turned off that it was about the government and not aliens. Again, it's the government, Nazis, Operation Paperclip. They came over, they started doing all this shit to women and kids. The Hand, the Red Dragon, what do they import, export around the world? To government bases, to work, sacrificial rituals, to be carriers for their clone babies, women, experimentation in secret. Anybody heard of Dolce in New Mexico? They tried to expose that to you in X-Files, but people didn't want to hear it. Just like they tried to expose 9/11 in X-Files. But still, people didn't want to hear it, but it happened. So here I am again putting this out to the universe, and hopefully one person will hear it and then talk to some friends about their concepts, because right now what I'm doing is I'm throwing a net out into the universe. Sit, listen, pull my net back in and see what I get, and I tell it to you. So this is what we're up against. Don't be fooled. Listen to your heart. Listen. The truth is out there, if you're willing to accept it. People are so quick to say you're crazy, to say you're this and this and this, but in the end, who's being proven to be the real supermen and superheroes? The men that put everything on their line to make videos like Loose Change, to make videos like September Clues exposing 9/11, to make videos and to write papers and to talk about things that people, the normal public that are jacked into the matrix, that won't turn off their TV and read, that won't turn off their TV and look at educational documentaries and videos. Like the new trend is, oh, I don't watch YouTube, it's like TV. Some stupid dude said this to me on Facebook and I wanted to slap him. Facebook isn't like TV. YouTube isn't like TV, because anybody can take their thoughts, their videos, their concepts and put it up to expose what they think or believe is the truth. Even if it's a half-truth, it's a half-truth. And then it exposes you to figuring out the rest of that truth. YouTube and other websites are a beautiful thing, but YouTube was bought by Google. Google's evil. Google is their information gathering machine that's probably hooked up to that beast-like machine that gathers information on everybody, so these Nazi motherfuckers will know everything, because like I said, knowledge is absolute power. Unplug yourself from the matrix. Throw your net out into the universe. Listen. Pull it back in. Create new concepts. Create new ideas. Because the truth is out there. All you have to do is pull it in and piece together your knowledge of what you know from here, 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 here. And the angels will help you. They will guide you. God will guide you and protect you to show you the truth of what they do in secret. Because there is no secret that is done under the sun, under the eyes of God, the real all-seeing eyes of the angels and the Lord. Have faith. Bless each and every one of you. Thank you for your time. I am Zakaos. To the special people in my life, I love all of you. You know who you are. And to the Walker concept, now you get Walker Bush. They're called walk-ins, people. Witches call them walk-ins. What's a walk-in? A demon, an evil entity that just walks into your life, takes it over. Walk-ins. There's an old gypsy story that said that gypsies have a crystal. These witches have a crystal that they can place on your head. Take your soul. And basically, you're just brain dead. And then they can take this crystal and put it on the head of a soulless individual or another body that's been killed or cloned, and then taken that consciousness. They're called walk-ins. These are old concepts, but it's 2013. So if they had little crystals that could do this, imagine what they're doing now, these witches. Stay blessed. Understand there are things that they ain't gonna talk about. They don't want you to know. It's too sick and twisted. Because if you learn a little piece, you might understand why your friend didn't know this, didn't know that, started acting funny. You could swear to somebody else. Maybe they were. Maybe those machines aren't as accurate as they thought. They have glitches. They don't know everything. It's impossible. Have faith. Stay blessed. The truth is coming out. Peace.